I'm Brianna,
And I'm Taylor,
and we are FLOGIC, and you're watching the Illest Lines.
So, first of all, I want to welcome you to the Illest Lines. I understand that you come out of New York. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. You still in Long Island, from what I read?
So no, we're actually not on Long Island. We're a little bit past Westchester County now, but we're always on Long Island still, because that's where we were born and raised, actually.
Awesome. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And our
Awesome.
church is still there. All of
Yeah.
our family's there.
So we're still
like,
repping.
right.
Right.
New York. Yeah.
And in regards to your introduction, at least now I'm glad that I know which one is which, because that was actually one of my questions. So much appreciated.
Trying to think, we always loved TLC. We're always compared to them. And
I'm a big Lauryn Hill fan.
yeah, she's a big
Oh,
Lauryn
Lauryn
Hill
Hill.
fan, and I love Lauryn Hill, but I also love Left Eye. I used to enjoy her a lot. May she
Yeah.
rest in peace. And our mom, she listened to a lot of like Rakim and Daddy Kane, so we got
Oh,
that.
okay.
But then my dad listened to Babyface. I've always loved him. He's actually one of my favorite artists. I enjoy
Mhm.
Pink and Chris Daughtry, so it's like so many different flavors of
Right,
artists. It's a beautiful thing. I think something can be learned from all of them.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, we went to the art museum for our brother's birthday, the Museum of Modern Art, and we're gathering inspiration from there. I think Van Gogh is a great artist, and
Yeah.
he's one of my favorite post-impressionist artists. So there are just so many facets of the art world and the performing arts world. I feel like
Right.
people sometimes only pull from musicians, but there's only but so much you can get from other musicians. At some point has to come
True.
from somewhere else.
True.
And I think the number one place, for us would be the Bible. Like you can't go wrong
Right.
with that. The word is always true.
Right. Right.
And so that's always like the number one focus when we're writing is, we'll have our Bible, or, we'll have stuff that we already have that's like on our spirit, to write about.
Definitely.
And we'll write from that.
Got you. Got you. And I did also read upon the fact that you both went to California for college.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And which city was that, and also which college was that? Because I'm from Cali myself.
Oh,
awesome.
very cool. So that
Yeah.
was the American Musical and Dramatic Academy. It's
Oh,
in
okay.
Hollywood. It's like LA, but it's in
Right.
Hollywood.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm raised in San Diego, but I was also partially raised in LA too. So yeah, definitely
Very
familiar
cool.
with Hollywood and all that. Yeah.
Very
Now,
cool.
in regards to like your guys' style, my first impression was poetry. Now,
Yeah.
even though the sound itself isn't exactly like that, just for some reason, it was the fact that you guys were singing on the other song, "My God" 4 times, and then I'm hearing the second one. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? So it was really
Thank
dope.
you.
So that was the first thing that I got. But in regards to the music in itself, I do see that. Well, I should say one of the things that I like is the fact that you're two females in a male dominant industry, no matter what it is, even if it was secular. You know what I'm saying? So how does that have an impact on you in itself and your ministry altogether?
Mhm. I would say it definitely has an influence on us. To me, it puts more pressure on us because there
Right.
aren't as many females that are out there doing it. So I think that
Right.
it then kind of forces us to make sure that we're deliberate about the eyeballs that we do
Definitely.
have. And we have a responsibility. I think as Christians in general, we have souls that we're catering to, and I think
Yeah.
sometimes that's not taken as seriously as it should be because it's music, it's fun, but at the end of the day there's a message that we still want people to get. And
Hmm.
it just so happens to be that we're iterating that message through music, and so that's kind of
Right.
where our focus lies, with just making sure that, okay, like let's make sure that we are representing women the right way. Like we can
Right.
rap and be fully clothed, we can rap and not, you know we don't have to conform to this world. And there
Right.
have been many people who have tried
Sure
to
have.
change our views, change the way we put ourselves out to the world. And
Right.
that was one thing we were always sticklers about, whether it takes 20 years or it takes 1 year. We
Right.
always knew that I don't care how long it takes for the message to get out there, it's going to be out there the way we want it to be out there, because women and young girls specifically are watching us, and even when you don't think
Right.
they are, they're watching you.
Absolutely.
So
And as far as souls are concerned, as you mentioned, with ministry, we are all members of the body of Christ. So,
Right.
I don't look at it as, oh, males, we're the females of rap. It's like
Right.
we're all members of Christ when you look at it in a spiritual context. So,
Right.
so when we're writing, we think of that. We're not, we're just writing. We're not even trying to write like,
Right.
female rappers. It's like we're trying to
Right.
write
Right.
as rappers, and most people, when they listen to the content, they're like, okay, these are ladies, but they kind of rap like
Right.
dudes. But it's like,
Right.
no, we're rapping like, the members of Christ, and of the body of Christ, and we're pulling from the same Bible that the dudes pull from.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And your strong presence though at the same time can still influence others, because I mean there's other females out there, I'm sure, that are looking for that, especially in the gospel and CHH industry, because they're not sure if they even have a place, because they see a very minimal amount, you know what I mean, of women that are in that industry, and they're seeing it as like, well, okay, well, how can I fit in? And knowing and hearing what you just said makes a huge difference, especially to the guys. When we hear that, we want to know that what we're getting from the females is the same that we expect from guys. Nothing but inspiration from the Bible, nothing but Christ-centered lyrics. You know what I mean? Things that have to do with making a difference through the gift that God gave you. And as long as we're focusing on that, basically what you're saying, as long as we're focusing on that, then that's the most important thing. But it does mean a lot though, especially to people like myself, because I as much as I like to focus on the artistry, I like to focus on everything. That's why I was saying, like with My God Four Times, I'm hearing the music, I'm hearing the vibe, you know what I mean? And it didn't matter to me that you were females, but at the same time, it was one of those things where it's like, man, these females go, you know what I mean? Because it's
Thank
refreshing.
you.
I like to hear that, you know what I mean? That's why I was also looking for some singers on here, because I've had so many rappers on here. I'm like, okay, I like to hear from the rappers, but I want to hear from the singers too. And now I got two in one, so that's great. Definitely a good thing. What I do want to say, what I do want to find out in regards to the first song, My God Four Times.
Make me rich and adding no more sorrow. My God, my God. My God, my God. My God, my God. My God, my God.
Like I was saying, that song, the whole vibe in itself it was real dope, and it made me excited even more to hear Best Man. So I want to kind of get into those real quick, if you don't mind. So, what was the inspiration for both songs? So we'll go first with My God Four Times. Whoever wants to expound on that.
Yeah, well, My God for X was definitely theologically sound. We took from Matthew, we took from Proverbs, specifically
Right.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich and addeth no sorrow to it. So we took that, and then we created like our own colloquial version of it,
Right.
making it more hip hop-ish.
Right.
And yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. And the hook itself, was definitely improvised. We had a couple of hooks for it, and we ended
Yeah.
up up with that hook, just being on the mic and playing around with the
Mm-hmm.
with the instrumental, and it came about. But yeah, that song was a lot of fun to write to sing to. It was great working on that one.
Yeah, it sounded like it. It sounded like it. And that's the other thing that I loved about it. The excitement that you had on it was real great. Who produced that track, by the way?
We actually did. So we actually got that beat off of Line, and we kind
Oh,
of just
okay.
finessed it,
Yeah.
and we did everything ourselves after
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you took an already like made idea and you just recreated it, or
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you producers as well then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, awesome. I didn't read nothing about that. That's brand new to me.
I know we actually should be putting that in
Yeah,
our stuff because we never do.
Yeah, we never incorporate that, but
Yeah.
you know, all of our songs we just do
Mhm.
on our own, and yeah, we just, you know, I guess we just never really, you know,
But
say
that's cool.
anything.
That's kind of a good bomb to drop on people though, because it's not again, you know, I hate to do the gender thing, but I mean it is a big deal. You know what I mean? That's why you know it's a big deal for you know women to be strong and make their presence known as well. Kind of like when I found out you know Missy did production. I was
Yeah.
like that was shocking to me because I didn't really know
Mhm.
too many, you know, especially during that time. You know, the
Yeah,
what was it, the mid to late '90s? It's like okay,
Yeah.
it was male dominated as well, Timberland and all that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, but that yeah, that's a good little bomb to drop on people. So is it safe to say then that Best Man is also produced by you too?
When I serve God, I lift up my left hand. Right hand is righteous, it's right where I rest at. Don't need no gymnast to know where my head stands. Feel like
So
a
yeah,
ghost
that
when I
one,
serve.
the same thing, but shout out to the Loungin. So he actually did the
Okay,
beat. He sent the beat to us,
nice.
Luther. And from there we finessed the beat.
Construct.
We construct, what'd you say?
Yeah,
Oh
construct.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that. And then you know, we wrote to it, we sent it
Hmm.
back, and yeah, that's how that one went. So that one
Gotcha.
was definitely a collaborative effort. But as far as like the production and producing it, and you know, as far as like producing like the vocals and stuff like that, we did the
Right.
same thing doing it in home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. That's real nice. So, since this show is all about the lines, all about the lyrics, so that's why it's called the illest lines. So, on both songs, which lines are your favorite? So let's start with God 4X. What My God 4X? What's your favorite lines from that song?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite for that one is pretty simplistic, but it just means so much to me, and I think a lot of people gravitate to the hook itself. You know, my God, my God, my God, my God. It's
Yeah,
repetitive, it's simple, but literally a 2-year old can say it, and it
right.
means so much. God is definitely a strong name, a strong
Yes,
person. So that hook alone, I completely love, and it's the song title. So
right,
that
right,
that personally is my absolute favorite. I literally can loop the hook over and
right,
over
right.
again. Yeah.
And you know what's good about that part too is sometimes you get to a point, especially in prayer, where that's all you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because God knows your heart, that's it's funny that a lot of people say that, but because God knows your heart and what's in your spirit, He knows exactly what you mean. So you may just be repeating God all the time throughout the whole
Yeah.
entire prayer, but He knows exactly what you feel.
Yeah.
That's good. I love that. I love that.
So
Yeah.
true.
And what about
For
you,
sure.
Rihanna? What about
For
yours?
me, I would say the line where we say, "Don't want to be left to the left of him, right where I'm next to him, right side he's blessing." And I love that line because I feel like it just shows like how you want to please God. Like that's what
Right.
I get from it, and um, that was kind of like the whole thing, like just the whole energy behind the song was like, I want to please God. And
Right.
so like that line alone, I feel like sums up the goal of the song
Right.
itself. And so that line to me is really special in that song.
Got you. Now, if you could do me a favor and say that for me one more time, a little bit slower,
Oh, sure. Look,
because I heard
I do
you.
everything fast. I'm
You
sorry.
want to guess who
It's
the
all right.
fast rapper is?
Right, right. Yeah.
We say, don't want to be left to the left of him. Right side, I'm next. Right when I'm next to him, right side, he's blessing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember
it
that
just
one.
is
Yeah.
like we want to, you know, be where God is, and so that
Yeah.
line speaks to me for sure.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Okay, so now what about Best Man? So for me, I
I
have to
mean,
say, for
So
me, I love the hook. The hook is dope.
thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so for me, it actually isn't a line; it's an ad lib. But I'm always
Mm.
saying it because I just love it. But
Yeah,
when she's doing her part, she does this thing in the back, she's like Sammy. And I love that part. It's
Wait,
just
she's
so
saying what?
funny. I'm sorry. Like that, Uno, Sammy. Like that whole part. Like I literally just keep doing that the whole time. Like I could do that 1,000 times.
Okay, wait.
Mine
So
definitely.
what
That
is
that part, that
wait, hold
element is
up. What does
fun.
that mean? What does that mean? You said Uno, Sammy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Uno,
so
Sammy.
I say, oh goodness, Uno, Uno, oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. So talking to God, get the Holy Ghost, La Mañana, giving honor to the most.
Three
No,
and Uno.
Vino numero. And I say, Uno, can't ignore you like my name is Samuel. Sammy.
Oh, got you. Okay.
It's like the small little details that are really
Right,
great.
yeah.
I like the part in the very beginning when I say, I need to woosah. Jesus washed my
Yeah.
sins without a loofah. Ooh, I do not mean no hoop unless it's hula. If you a hooker with a hookah, praise them in your tuta. That whole part is like my favorite. Actually, the whole entire beginning.
Yeah, I had to
But
actually listen to that like a couple of times because I was trying to get what you were saying.
yeah. And when we first did it, I remember playing it for our parents, and our mom specifically was like, "Wait, did you just say if you're a hooker with a hookah, you know,
Like, wait, you gotta play that back.
you gotta play that back."
Right.
You know, it was a little risky, but it was worth saying, and it just goes to show, yeah, we're we're Kojic. That's our denomination, Church of God in Christ. Shout out to Zion Cathedral. But we're not afraid to invite sinners, or invite those who are smoking and drinking and stuff to God, because we're not the gatekeepers. God's inviting them, so that's why that I love that line. So it's like, it's letting them know, listen to this, you can listen to this song too and rock with it,
meeting people where they are, because not everyone is in church, but they still love the Lord, and we want them to feel welcome. We don't, the goal is to reach people, not to keep barriers, and that's not what it's about. So we want everyone to rep and rock with us.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. I would definitely say that creating barriers and creating a lack of space where people can talk, you know what I mean, where they feel comfortable enough to even not only hear you, but ask you to listen. Creating that space is a definite big deal. And how can we reach them if we don't preach? You know what I mean? But at the same time, understanding that they're coming from a place, understanding that we have to represent Christ in as many open spaces as possible. And what did he do? He went to those people. You know what I mean? He may not have spoken specifically their language, but he spoke certain words to them that made them pay attention. You know what I mean? So if you got to speak, I'm not saying, let's go out there and, just curse up the whole stage and everything. But at the same time, there are certain things that we can say that allow people to, kind of get that one moment where they're going, oh, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? It gets their attention, and it opens the floor for that conversation. Most definitely. Yeah. That's funny that you say that about your parents, though. So how do they feel about both of their daughters? And now, which one is older, real quick, if you don't mind? You don't have to give the age.
Me.
Okay. I kind of sensed that, but I wasn't sure. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you.
Oh my goodness,
I'm older, so I appreciate that.
No problem. But so how do they feel about their daughters? Not only being a part of this particular type of industry, but going out there in this way and ministering this way?
Yeah, they're super supportive of it. I think, it's more comforting knowing that we're doing it for God.
Right.
That definitely plays a huge role in, them being acceptive of it.
Right.
And I just think, that's the plus about having parents that, are kind of just supportive of what we're doing, and they get that, okay, you guys are doing it, it's something that we've chosen to do, so it's kind of like you have no choice but to accept it. But it's helpful knowing that by choice they're deciding to be supportive of what we're doing and embracing what we're doing. So that's been awesome. That's been really good.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. It's good to have that support system, most definitely.
Yeah.
And it sounds like your parents are around the same age as I am. So, because you were mentioning Babyface and And
Uh.
who else? Like, okay, so I can rock with them. All right, no problem, no problem. Well, cool. Well, before I let you go, if you
Okay.
can just give your social media so people know where to follow you, and also if you have any brand new, projects coming up.
Okay, sure. Well, everyone can follow us at FLOGIC Music on all platforms. Our website is www.flogicmusic.com, and you can find us on there as well. And we have an EP that's coming out very, very, we're going to be announcing it very soon on our platforms, actually, but we're super excited to be working with that.
Awesome.
And I'm trying to think, anything else?
No, you hit every point.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. And
Awesome.
we do have a podcast that's coming soon that we're excited
Oh, cool.
to share with everyone. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's pretty much the major points to hit.
Nice. It seems like it's that season because I've seen a pretty good amount of artists come out. I mean, myself included. It's part of the reason. The whole quarantine was the reason why I started doing this too. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of bored. I want to do something. I want to do something else besides be right here singing and stuff. I want to get some artists together and show some support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Support is such a major issue. Not issue. It's gonna be a major deal for me. You know what I mean? Just to be able to have a group of supporters that all about the same thing and just want to push out the the good music that's out there.
Yeah.
Most definitely. All right, cool. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time being on here. And if there's anything at all that you both need from me, feel free to let me know.
Okay,
absolutely. Thank you so
Sounds good.
much.
Thanks for your time.
Oh, most definitely. Can't wait for the EP to come out, and I look forward to hearing more from you.
Okay.
Thank you. It's our
Bye.
pleasure.
All right, God bless you.
Bye.
God bless.